friends, welcome back to the attic. We're on week 2 of our recap for Junetober, so pull up a chair around the craft table, grab your favorite beverage, and let's recap week 2. If this is your first time here, Junetober is an event that is happening all month that is hosted by myself, Petals and Parchment, Crafty Dragon Creations, and Emily Designs. I will have a link down in the description box where you can catch the intro video that tells you all about this event. And I will also have the link to this clickable calendar where if you download this as a PDF, you can click each one of the links and it will take you directly to the collaborator for that day's YouTube channel. Last week, we left off with Tony's Magical Arts and Crafts. That was the last one I did because I wanted to make sure I got my video up for Friday. So we've got a lot to go through today, all the way from day 5 to day 12, because I will be working on day 12 at the end of this video after we do a little bit of recap of what I did in my journal for the rest of the week. So let's take a look at day 5. And my journal is getting very chunky. But for day 5, we had Gracie over at the Serendipitous Crafter. And she created a journal that she's using for part of Junetober. And she made a fabric spine. So what I wanted to do is take the idea of using fabric in my journal. If you missed my recap last week, I do have that link down in the description box also, because what I'm doing is I am trying to take inspiration from each one of the daily collaborators and then doing my own thing in my journal. So for this, I took some fabric and used some here in my cluster. I used some right here in my cluster. I've got a little pocket here that I've got the little mini postcard from Elizabeth in it. My day 5 information card here. I did another little cluster here. And then for the biggest part of my day 5, I created this little waterfall of sorts. I sewed all of these cards to a strip of fabric, and they all flip up. And then I created a closure to hold those down with the hook and loop dot and just that little piece of fabric. So that is my day 5. For day 6, we had Mikey at Lost Treasure Designs, and he made a fantastic accordion wallet. And if you have not checked out that video, I encourage you to go check that out to see exactly how he created that. And a lot of what these creators are doing won't fit in my journal the way I had already set my journal up. And I knew that that would be the case, that I just wanted to take inspiration from their videos. So what I did with day 6 is I created my own little version of an accordion wallet out of this little piece that Elizabeth had in her kit, and then I've used it as like a little ephemera holder here. I just added one of the fussy cuts from Elizabeth's kit and the pocket where that'll fit right in. The background, I did some paper piecing collaging. I created a little cluster here with the Tim Holtz sentiment, and I've got my day 6 information card. So that was day 6. For day 7, we've got Fraps and Scraps, and what she did in her video is she created something using a treat bag and an envelope book. So what I took from her video is using a bag. I used a glossine bag that would kind of be like the treat bag, did some stamping over that, and I glued it right to my page. I did some cluster work here, used some washi tape there, and use 2 of the tag bookmarks from Elizabeth's kit to go inside my treat bag. Then over here I used one of the pockets from Elizabeth's kit and created another little cluster here, and I wanted to include the little hidden pocket bottle that Elizabeth had in her kit, so I decided that's what I wanted to do to hold my day 7 information card. Elizabeth had some information on how to put this together in the kit, and I think Peach Domino also did a little video tutorial on how he put his together. So that's day 7. And that ends our week 1 spotlight for Elizabeth over at Petals and Parchment. And I want to just take a minute to thank Elizabeth for being a huge part of this collaboration. I couldn't possibly pull this off without her. She is hosting the whole YouTube Hop Challenge as her challenge for the event, and that is a huge undertaking. So be sure you're watching all the videos, collecting those tokens, and making sure you're liking, subscribing, and commenting on all the videos, because Elizabeth will be checking that at the end of the month to make sure you're eligible for the prize if you're the winner of her prize. And before I move on to week 2, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping about the video I did for the week 1 recap, and I want to thank everybody for all the kind comments y'all have given me and the other collaborators in this event. Y'all have been so nice, and that really means a lot. I did get a suggestion from that video that somebody thought it would be really helpful if there was a playlist. I had already made a playlist for all the Junetober videos, because again, I said from smallest to largest, whether you were part of the official collaboration or you were just playing along, all those videos mattered to me. And so that playlist is still part of my channel. So if you go over to my playlist, you can find the full, complete Junetober playlist. But in addition to that, following the comment that someone made on that video, they thought it would, they said as a newbie it would be real helpful for them if there was some way that when they were watching YouTube that the videos would just continuously play. So I made an official Hop playlist to where the only things that are on that playlist are the official Hop videos that are a part of this calendar. So you can go on there, and it starts with the intro video of explaining how the event works. That way if somebody came in new, they could catch all that. And it goes all the way to the current video of the day. And I will be adding each video every morning when they go up onto that playlist. One of the other questions I got on that video is somebody asked about a tool that I had on my desk, and it was this little tool right here, and this is a Tim Holtz paper distresser. And grab a piece of paper here, and it basically just distresses the edge. You can get a lot of different people have these kinds of things out. You can do the same thing with some scissors, but basically it just distresses the edge of your paper, kind of like that, if you can see that. And so that's what that tool is. So I wanted to answer that question. And I had one other question somebody had on one of my videos, and they asked about my ATG tape runner. I have checked. This tape runner is no longer available, but I did find one that I think is comparable that looks like you can get, but only online at Michael's. I will link that in the description box if somebody wants to go over and take a look at that. And I think that was all of the comments I wanted to follow up on before we moved on to week 2. And week 2, our spotlight is Emily Designs. And I will tell you, Emily's kit, the Collector's Grimoire, is a huge kit. Even if spooky is not your vibe, I can guarantee you, you will not be disappointed in this kit. It has so much in it that could be spooky, vintage, grunge, whatever your style is, other than really bright and colorful. But there are some that are kind of bright and colorful. But unless it's like hot pinks and pastel kind of things, this kit has something for everybody in it. So what I did here is Emily created a little flap kind of folio insert for her day. And again, I don't have the room for those kinds of things in this journal, otherwise it would never close. But I took that as a little inspiration and made this little flip up with some of the paper she had, and put my little card here. The other thing she had that I took inspiration from is she used something I had never thought about before. When she was matting her envelopes, she used tracing paper to just make a little template that she could then take that tracing paper and put over her. Let me see if I can grab a piece of paper here really quick. I couldn't find my tracing paper, but I did have some deli paper that'll give kind of the same effect. But then you can use that template to lay over your paper that you're going to be matting with, and you can see exactly where you want to cut out to mat and get the exact image you want. So I was able to do that with these flaps here and that to get that moth there. I used my little day 8 tag here in the pocket, did a little bit of sewing, and added Emily Designs Week 2 Spotlight, the Collector's Grimoire. And here for my butterfly, I only attached it in the center so it would have a little bit of movement. So that's day 8. For day 9, we have Nate at Peach Domino. And if you haven't been following along with Nate, he has been doing a video every day. And I applaud Nate. That is a huge endeavor to take on, because when I did my event Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things, I did a video every day, and that can get exhausting. So, well done, Nate. Keep going. For Nate's official day, he made a charm. And so that was my inspiration for the day. And he also, in one of the bonus videos he's been doing, he made a hidden paper clip. So I took that inspiration from both of those. And if I can get this off, I hope I didn't glue it down. No, there we go. I made a hidden paper clip charm for today that just fits right over the top of my journal page. And then I did some more paper piecing and collage work. I'm doing a lot of collage in this journal, as that is one of my favorite things to do, and I had not done that in a while, so I decided I wanted to do a lot of that in this journal. So that's day 9. For day 10, we had Kyla create printables. And Kyla did a tag book for her day. And I did, again, some more collage work, added my little day 10 information card here, and then I made a little mini tag book that fits in my pocket. And I just attached these tags together with some of the faux boo-boo tape or aged vintage cello tape that I made, and put my little pocket down here to hold that. And I added here, I did some, before Junetober got started, I did some charms using jump rings and papers and glossy accents or resin. I used resin with mine because that was faster. I didn't have to allow the time for it to dry, the UV resin. But I have seen lots of people do it with glossy accents too. That works well, and I just added that right there. So day 11, we have Angela Jones Designs, and I want to tell you that Angela made a folio with one of Elizabeth's template kits that she has for sale in her Etsy shop. And from start to finish, this video was packed with helpful hints and tips for both new journalers and paper crafters to seasoned ones. There is probably something that either you'd never thought of it before or you may have forgotten it. So Angela did a fantastic job with that. But I wanted to take that idea of using one of Elizabeth's template kits and take that one step further. What Angela did was she printed part of the kit using the template onto the templates. And she printed it, I think she said it went through her printer 3 times. Once for the back, once for the front, and then again for the actual template to be printed on the paper for her to then cut it out. I wanted to do something a little different, but yet kind of the same. I took one of Elizabeth's template kits and I created a pattern. I printed the template out, and instead of printing it on my paper, I then used this to cut out my pieces for this page. And let me show you what I did here. These are just little tags that are holding this gatefold closed, and I used these templates to cut out that gatefold, and then I used this one from the kit to cut out this little pocket here. And then this opens up and exposes my day 11's information card that I framed with one of Elizabeth's frames. And again, this goes back in and just holds that gatefold closed. So that was day 11. And so now it's time for day 12. And for day 12, we've got Crafts by Diane. And what she did is she created a curio card. That is Emily's challenge for the event, is to create curio cards, post them in the comment section of her pinned post in her Facebook group. All that information is in the description box. For the information or video that tells you all about Junetober. You can also find all of this information in my Facebook group. If you ever have any questions, head over to my Facebook group and I'll try to help guide you into where you can find things if you're a little lost. So I wanted to create a curio card, so I'm going to set this aside for a minute and I'm going to grab my curio card. And while we create, I'm going to do a little bit more chatting and talking about something else I did in my Facebook group this week. Let me just grab the pieces I'm going to be working with. I took some of the tape that Emily has. Can't remember if this was a freebie or if it was part of her kit, but she's got this bonnet, she's got this tape that you can cut out and use, and I printed both this and these strips here on sticker paper that I can then use these kind of like washi tape, and I don't have to add glue to them. And here is some of the boo-boo tape or vintage, faux vintage cello tape that I created, and I also have some jelly prints with my deli paper that I'm going to be using. And so let's just chat a little bit. Over in my Facebook group this week, I did something I'm not great at, and that's doing a little self-promotion. I'm not the best at doing self-promotion. It's kind of not my thing. I generally throw videos up or kits up and post the links, and if people watch them, great, and if they don't, it's okay. I don't know why I feel like that is something I have a hard time with self-promotion, but I hit a milestone this past week and I got 3,000 watch hours. If you're unfamiliar with doing videos on YouTube, when you hit 3,000 hours, if you have 3,000 hours and I think it's 1,000 subscribers, you can apply to be in their partner program. And I did that. But with their partner program, you really can't start earning anything on your videos until you reach 4,000 watch hours. So I decided I was going to share in my Facebook group that I had gotten to this milestone and see if I could make a challenge out of getting those last hours that I need to get monetized here on YouTube. And I put up in my Facebook group, at that time I needed 800 hours to reach my goal of 4,000 watch hours. If you are unfamiliar with how watch hours work on YouTube, because if you don't do videos, you probably have no reason to even know this. One, it's hard to know exactly how many people are watching each day on that day, because YouTube has an extensive process they go through before they actually give you credit for those watch hours. And I think that's to prevent bots and things like that just running in the background and getting people lots of watch hours that they then get paid for. So I get that. So you don't know your true watch hours for until 5 days later. Like for today, I'm seeing, let me actually just grab my phone because I don't even know what I was seeing today. Let me see here really quick. Today, it's showing me my watch hours as of June 7th. So with all that being said, on June 8th, I put up a challenge in my Facebook group to try to help me get those last 800 hours. If I hit my goal of 4,000 watch hours by the end of Junetober, which will be June 30th, technically won't know that for 5 days after that, so don't think on June 30th I can tell you I hit that goal unless I hit it early. But if I hit that goal, I am going to make a mega kit that I'm going to give away for free. This mega kit is going to have anywhere from 80 to 100 pages in it. I have no idea what theme I'm going to do yet. I kind of decided in my mind that if I got to the halfway point of reaching those watch hours, that I would put a poll up in my Facebook group to let everybody vote on what I might do for the kit theme. I won't know how many watch hours I got that very first day, right after I put up this challenge post, until tomorrow. So I can't tell you today how well that post went, but I can tell you that I was humbled by the amount of people in my Facebook group that came in and told me they would put my videos on and just kind of watch them in the background to get me some extra hours. and ones that... Alright, sorry about that. Had a telephone call from my daughter, and family always comes first. So, with that being said, if I repeat myself anywhere moving forward, I apologize, but I don't remember exactly where I left off, so we'll try to pick back up. Anyway, back to the 800 hours and explaining the way YouTube works. So I won't know right at the beginning or right at the end of the event, unless I would happen to hit the goal early, if I've hit it for until like probably, my guess would be July 5th or 6th. So, but if I do, I will be making that kit and giving it away to anyone that has watched my videos during the month of June and has commented on them. And if I hit my goal, I will come back on and tell you that I've hit my goal and tell you exactly how to contact me to receive your free kit. To do that, again, you have to have watched videos during the month of June, and you have to be a public subscriber here on my YouTube channel. That's the only two things. And it's not I'm going to only pick one person. I'm going to give this kit away to anybody and everybody that watches my videos during June and then follows the instructions on getting the free kit. Okay, back to telling you a little bit about how YouTube works as I finish doing this little curio card. If you don't know, also with YouTube, your watch hours only stay up, or are, I don't guess up is a good word for that, but only are good for your 4,000 watch hours that you have to hit to get monetized for 365 days. So, what that means is any watch hours I got today, last year, 365 days ago, are now gone. They don't count anymore. So I'm having to explain this because the goal is, I said on my video the goal was to get my 800 hours. I said on my Facebook post the goal was to get the 800 hours. I probably need to go back and clarify that a little bit, because if you're not familiar with how YouTube works, I might get 800 hours, but I might not meet that goal, if that makes sense, because some of my watch hours that I got last year disappear. So the goal and for the kit will be if I hit my 4,000 watch hour goal. Now, also what you might not know, because you think, oh, I've already watched all her videos, so I can't help there. That is not true. And I do this a lot, not to get people not to get people more watch hours, but because basically I forget things that I've seen, so I'll go back and rewatch videos. If you watch a video today and it's been 24 hours, so tomorrow or 2 days from now, you watch that exact same video, it counts towards my watch hours again. It just has to be over 24 hours that you've watched the same video for it to count. So if you go back and re-watch any videos, that will get me extra hours, and I am ever so grateful. Again, I am not good at this self-promotion thing, and it has taken a lot for me to come on and get out of my comfort zone and ask for this help. But I love this community. Again, I was humbled by the amount of people that were in my Facebook group that said that they were on it and had almost taken it as a personal goal of their own to help me reach that goal. And you will never know how much that means to me. What I'm doing here just for this is I created these jelly prints and then went back and stamped on them to get some of this stamping and layering that I could use. I knew I wanted to probably do a lot of collage work and layering in this book, and doing it this way makes it really thin and doesn't take up as much space as even regular printer paper would. So that's why I did it like this. But again, I am so grateful for all the support y'all give me, whether I meet this goal or not. Again, it was a personal goal I set for myself to try to get monetized here on YouTube. I have no idea how much you really make on that. If you watch videos on YouTube, you hear everything from they are making millions to they're barely getting a $20 check every month. So I don't know that it will make any difference whatsoever to me to be monetized on YouTube. I don't put up a ton of videos. None of my videos are going to ever go viral, and I don't do it for that. I've never set out to do any of these videos to make money per se. It was just a goal that by nature I'm a competitive person, and when I say that, I don't mean I'm competitive with you or my next door neighbor or anybody else on Etsy or YouTube or whatever. I'm competitive with myself. I always am looking for how I can do things and how I can challenge myself. And so this was just a challenge that I decided when I first started making videos that I would love to see if I could really hit that mark to where I got monetized. But again, my videos are never going to go viral. I know that. Not many people watch craft videos that make them go, so to speak, viral, where you get 1 million watch hours and that kind of thing. But I love this community and I love creating. And I just wanted to challenge myself. And at the end of the day, if I don't get there, nobody died. Nothing bad's going to happen. But I also wanted to share, if I did get there, with all of y'all. And that's why I decided I wanted to see if I could make it a challenge to see if we could reach those watch hours by the end of Junetober. So if you've watched any of my videos, if you've watched one, or if you've watched all of them, I appreciate it. And know that your support is never taken for granted. I appreciate every comment and every member in my Facebook group and the community that we're building over there, and even here on YouTube, because not everybody's on Facebook. That was one of the things, one of the challenges that we ran into with some people with Junetober not being on Facebook. They couldn't necessarily play along with the challenges and stuff. And I've already started trying to brainstorm ways that in future challenges we could possibly make that easier for more people to play along. I have also started trying to brainstorm more videos that, while I make digitals and sell them in my Etsy shop, I also love to create with scrapbook paper. and things like that. So I think I want to try to do more videos using those materials too, because not everybody has a printer, and I get that. So I'm just trying to always brainstorm ways where everybody can find something in this community and can try to play along if they want to. I'm gonna pull that back up just a little bit. I think, oh, where is my tool? I don't know. My desk is a mess right now. Let's see if I can, okay, I think I can do that. I'm gonna tuck that under, just like that. And I will be just about finished with this little curio card. And thank you for sticking with me through this. I know talking about YouTube watch hours and things like that probably wasn't what you had in mind for today. But if you are like me, before I started doing videos on YouTube, I had no idea this ins and outs of how YouTube worked and how much it took for a creator to make a little simple video. In my mind it was simple, but it's not. It can be very difficult. All the steps you have to go through to film and edit. Some people don't edit. I do try to edit out, because sometimes if I left everything in, guys, the way fibromyalgia affects my brain, if I left in all my ramblings and babblings that sometimes go through my mind and out my mouth, y'all would think I was crazy or been drinking something I shouldn't have been drinking and trying to make a video. So I do edit those things out. I don't edit out probably as much as I could. I don't edit in things that make things all flashy and, again, something that might make something go viral. That's just not why I create or the way I want to create. That is the front of my card. I really like how that turned out. I am going to flip this over, and you know what? I made that upside down. Ta-da! It's okay. Let's see if I can do something on the back of this and use some of this washi tape paper. Actually, I said I did that on sticker paper. I did not, so I will have to be gluing. So let's do a little bit of paper tearing and try to cover up this back. Just because I made it upside down, I'm probably not going to cover up the whole thing. I'm just going to add to it to where it doesn't look completely wonky. And we will call this video a day. It's late going up because I had a lot going on this week. One of the other things in the last little bit I have been coming to terms with is I stopped creating for the love of creating and started creating, trying to follow all the things, do all the things, move on to the next biggest project or event or whatever. And I really want to get back to creating for just the love of creating. And that is something I'm going to really be working on these next couple of months, is getting back to doing the styles of projects I love and just hanging out, as the guy on Titanic says, with you fine people. and the wonderful community that we're building here. Let's see, like that. My idea was not to cover this back, but this is just a great example of if something is not turn out like you thought it would or you wanted it to, it's just paper. Go back, change, add, adapt, and most of all, have fun. Alright, what's one last thing that I can put in here? Do I have anything else I want to include? Let's do this right here. Probably can't see that. I know that's off camera, but I'm gonna use this little ticket here and do this last little bit. But thank y'all again for hanging out with me today, for allowing us as creators to come into your home and spending a little time with us during this Junetober event. And there was one final thing I wanted to say about YouTube that it just dawned on me that I forgot to mention, I think, before because I got off track. If you watch videos that are sped up because you are, you don't have time to watch the whole thing, that is fine. If that's what you need to do for it to fit in your lifestyle, by all means, go for that. But I did want to tell you that if you're doing it and thinking that creator is getting the full watch hours for that, they are not. If you speed it up and speed it up 2 times, like it's going twice as fast as it should, they only get credit for half of the watch hours. So I did want to make that clear, just in case you're thinking, oh, I'll just speed all her videos up and she'll get all the watch hours. That's not how that works. YouTube's real good about making sure that they only are going to give you credit for the stuff that they think you earned. And let me tell you, they make you earn it. So the next time you watch a creator that has a huge following, especially a craft creator that has a huge following and lots of watch hours and things like that, know that there was a lot of work that went into that behind the scenes. So let me grab my page for day 12. We will tuck in, I want to distress that just a little bit. And once again, I have lost all the things on my desk. I am excited about some things I've got in the works for July. I will tell you, for July, I am going to be slowing down and enjoying crafting. So I hope you'll stay tuned for the things I've got planned for July. So there we go. We've got our curio card all ready to tuck in to day 12. And with that, my friends, thank you again for spending this creative time with me here today. I hope if you're following along, you're having a great time with Junetober. We've got a few more days for this Spotlight Week of week 2 for Emily at Emily Designs. But next week when I come back, we'll recap those few days and we'll be moving on into week 3. So until I see y'all again here in the attic, y'all take care.